It's got to be real.
People don't understand, like, very few fighters at 7-0 would go and box someone like Constantine Erich. If you look at the heavyweights, great heavyweights, Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, his progression is so much quicker than them. But because he's doing it with such ease, you know, people say, oh, you've got to step up, oh, you've got to step up. Well, tonight was a step up. Skelton in the last fight was a step up. And Bakhtov in the next fight is a much, much bigger step up. But it will probably take them out of these as well because he's that good. So he's a victim of his own success in some respects because we could just feed him terrible fighters, but we're not. We're feeding him decent heavyweights. But he's just making such light work of it.
You must be very happy with your progress.
I'm critical, but like Eddie said,
Are you critical of yourself?
Yeah, I just want to get better for my next fight. There has to be some simple improvements, whether it's a percentage or 5%. I just have to step it up. But I think, like Eddie said, I think the next fight will be tougher, and I'm happy with the progression more than anything.
Are you your own biggest critic then?
No, my coach is.
Yeah, but you're more than happy the way it's going, obviously.
Yeah, it's a long road. It's going to be a long, tough road.
And you're not getting too far ahead of yourself.
No. Even though like Eddie had much confidence in me to put me in October the 11th, I did it myself, but I didn't past September or today. And I made sure I handled this job first and foremost in good fashion. No injuries, no cuts, nothing like that. I'm not looking too far ahead. Now I can go to the next job.
So job done, next one.
The next one.
Yeah.
Because they're coming thick and fast.
How important is that for you? It's obviously got October and then Sprott playing in the year as well, so how do you do with it?
It's a journey though, even though I'm looking at it short term, because everything's happening quick, it's just non-stop. I love fighting. Like 2 weeks ago, you're thinking, it's been ages since I last boxed because they're happening so quick. And just look forward to October the 11th, there's no pressure, I'm going to get in there, enjoy it, and train out with Bakhtov, and hopefully win the WBC the national belt. That'll be amazing.
From your debut, it's all taken to your 85, to reach the third round, would you believe that?
Yeah. We train hard, you know, I train hard, so the results, I believe these results are what I work for. Eddie did say, give it a year, we'll fight for our first title. It's reality. My trainer, Tony said, if I train hard, I'm going to get the victories. It's comes to reality, so everything's kind of like working out pretty well.
Comes full circle, when you get your debut, that's where you fight for your first title.
You look relaxed in there tonight, and you've been too relaxed.
Well, we had a brief chat, and he said it's about being a victim of your own success to a certain extent. I'm not at world championship level, so we can't get carried away because that's where I want to be. But where I am at the minute, I'm handling business. But as I said, it's going to get tougher. There's some real tougher opponents out there. I obviously thought he was going to go the distance or later on into the round, but he didn't. But when the time comes, I'll switch on. I was switched on, but these guys aren't in my league, as you can see, and I'm just having fun with them, really, trying to get the rounds up. I went back into the change room and done 40-minute pad work, stuff like that. So, like, I'm hungry. I'm not going to let these guys get in the way of my dream.
You still had energy you wanted to burn after that?
Yeah, every fight that I get on, I've stopped most of them.
Yeah.
So I go back and make sure we get a full workout. So I'm still getting the rounds under my belt. So if it does go the distance, I'll be good to go.
Eddie, would you say that is the second biggest star in approach in your stable?
I'm not a star.
I think that everywhere we take it, we get such a wonderful reception. But it's not really about being, you know, we're building him commercially as a star, along with, you know, other team working on that as well. But I think ultimately we're putting more into his progression as a fighter. You know, he gets invited to every openings of envelopes. You know what I mean? He goes to a lot of them. But I'm more concerned about him. I know that he's got the profile. I know that he's got the platform in Sky. He's going to be a huge pay-per-view fighter in years to come, for many, many years. But ultimately, I'm more interested in the short term of his progression as a fighter. And by boxing him all over the country. You know, Manchester was his first time he's boxed here. Glasgow, obviously boxed in London, boxed in Cardiff, boxed in Liverpool. He doesn't realise it yet, but when he does step up to that moment to be tested, he'll be ready because of the experience he's had as a professional fighter. You know, talking about him switching off, it's because he's so good. I know that might sound a bit strange, but against a fighter like Ehrich, you can't really switch off because he's dangerous. And I've seen him fight people, I've seen him hurt people, I've seen him, you know, be quality fighters. He fought Solis, he went 12 rounds, he gave him a great fight. You know, he went distance recently with Bakhtov. He's been in with some quality fighters, but he just played with him. And that's why he switched off. And I just said to him outside, when he steps up, he won't switch off. I know that 100% because he won't be allowed to switch off. I think Bakhtov is that first probably step where he may not switch off. But I don't want him to become a little bit bored with things. But it's sensational that he is switching off against a fighter like Ehrich, who is dangerous, but didn't even look for a second like he could hurt Anthony Joshua. I know it takes one punch, etc., but ultimately he didn't even come out first gear. He could have done that in the first 30 seconds of the fight. And you're talking about decent level heavyweights. I mean, the stat is, which is a great stat for you guys, is that his record, his combined opponents are 129 wins, 61 losses and 1 draw. If you compare that to Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, his run of first 8 opponents are on another level to all those fighters. So you can't really give him stick. You've just got to understand that he's so good, he's making good fighters look very average.
You know this, Josh, like about being star and virtual and travelling. Like, what do you do to sort of like concentrate on the fighting and try and step away from it?
You've got to remember, like, before boxing, not much was going well. So I don't take this for granted, regardless of what we're achieving and what's going on right here. There's a long way to go. I'm far from satisfied. I've only had 8 fights. I'm only coming up to a year into my professional career. So far off where I want to be. So it goes in one ear and out the other for me. It takes small bits, but I just got to clear the smoke and then just crack on. I'm fighting again in 4 weeks. Coach said there's a few days rest. I don't think I'll rest much. I want to get back in the gym because I really want to take back to that. Really, you know, just get out of that ring. I want that WBC international belt. And I want to make all my supporters proud and people that believe in me. I want to do it for them as well. So, yeah, I just got to keep improving it to myself that I am what Eddie thinks I am, what I believe I am, and my coach believes I am.
Given Anthony's progression, how long do you think it'll be before you can step up to top level?
Depends, you know, regarding top level, I think, you know, he fights Bakhtov on October the 11th, he wins that WBC belt, it's going to give him a top 15 ranking. We've got to be careful, you don't just want to dive straight in the deep end, he's still got a long way to go, a lot to learn. But ultimately, the way he's progressing, you know, you progress, you have to be versatile with your progression in that you move at the rate that the fighter is moving at, not at the rate of a normal human being is working. So someone says, well, don't rush him. Well, we're not rushing him at the moment, it's just that all you do is you step up to the next level. If he beats Bakhtov with these, you step up, you know, we're looking at Sprott for November the 29th potentially. If he beats him with these, he has to fight for a British title. I mean, he destroys Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora right now. Right? Absolutely not even a question.
If you put him in a ring with the
He'd destroy them. He'd absolutely destroy them. But they're not necessarily the right fights for the right time now. You know, those fights can be pay-per-view fights at huge stadiums. We're still growing him as a person, as a fighter, and his profile as well. But he has to do what's right. And sometimes people will get frustrated. The general public will get frustrated, but they have to understand he's in with quality fighters now. It's just that he's on another level.
And like you say, it's a short career, like you said, to stop. Make them earn money.
Cool. I mean, Scott Briggs, obviously, he's a world champion now. Anthony's got years and years to go. He's going to make fortunes for many years of his life. And luckily, he's level-headed, and he can just focus on himself. And he will be a huge star in world boxing. He's got everything set up for it. And he couldn't wish for anything else. The progression, the path, it's all there, waiting in front of him. Regarding Scott Quigg, we were talking about, when you get to that level, you just want to give the fighters the most money they can. I've spent for being a professional fighter, you've got to maximise your earnings. It's all about the money at the end of the day, and the glory of winning titles, but most of all the money. Some people don't like to hear that, but that's the truth. You know, you're in the glory of the titles and to make as much money as possible. Scott Quick needs those big fights. He could break all kinds of records financially. That's not really his motivation. I know he wants a few quid, but he wants to be the very, very best. And that's the burning desire that will make him a champion.
Any chance of scoring Klitschko again?
Yeah, definitely. He said it was one of the best sparring partners he's had over, not just me, myself, a lot of us. And but he's scheduled to fight again in November. So I think get October the 11th out of the way, and then I think he'll be starting to spar later on in the week, maybe the week after, and then it goes hand in hand with my fight potentially in November 29th. So yeah,
Maybe we could bring him over for one of our camps.
Imagine
He'd love for him.
that.
I know you're sparring with Klitschko, but actually being in Stranglework, which is a great place.
Really good.
We've been there, you know, a few of us.
Yeah.
That must have boosted your
Yeah.
confidence.
The main thing I look for when I'm training is peace. It's a warrior sport.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about the fame and the finance and stuff, but you've got to keep that gladiator spirit. So to get out and stand for work, you're up in the mountains.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's just like you're really zoned out, and everything you can think of is boxing. All the sparring partners from America, Russia, Germany. Aaron Pryor's son was there. James Ali Bashir was there. Kevin Johnson before, Vitali, Malik, who'd been in. So the boxing fraternity that was there, like with us, we were just talking boxing, and it was just great to be amongst these people. It gave me just a great experience, and I'll go there again. Once isn't enough for me. That got me in good shape for this fight, but the more I do it, like home's when you're sparring Ali.
Plenty of fresh air and everything there, isn't it?
Perfect, and hopefully one day I can set one of these up as well, so I'll set up a nice camp zone. But I'll get to that level first. But I took pictures, I took notes, I ordered some equipment that he uses and that. So I was definitely I was taking notes while I was out.
Good.
How did it come about? Did you reach out to him?
I was with a charity, Luta, Fight for Peace. They do stuff in the favelas in Brazil, and then he's done stuff with the favelas in Brazil as well. So the guy put us in touch. Just general chit chat, just to say good luck for his fight, and just wish me good luck on turning professional. And I got an email randomly. Spoke to Eddie, my trainer, said it would be great, it worked well. Went out there for 10 days and I went on my own. Coach said go on your own, do it a tough way. Can't always be wrapped in cotton. So I went out there on my own, handled business. I had to push myself after training, do my own thing, and it was great. And if I do it again, maybe go with my coach. If Eddie wants to, we can come out for a few days. It was really good, really nice to be out there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's fine.
See you for the next one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.